joined by Martin Tyler after this afternoon's 1-0 home victory against Hendon. Martin, what a change from last Saturday. How pleased are the management team with the performance and the result this afternoon?
Yeah, we're very pleased with both. To be honest, in football, sometimes you get the result, sometimes you get the performance and not the result. The result, not the performance. Today we did get both, and I think the only tension was twofold really. Were we going to get a goal, having had a number of good chances against a good side? Or, and at the end, were we just going to be so close to an elusive victory, given what's happened in the last couple of weeks, that we might just do something silly at the end? And there was a little bit of panic, probably on the bench as well as out on the pitch. But we got there, and boys have thoroughly deserved it.
Last week I said to Mark Hams, possibly in his moment, I thought the players were a disgrace last Saturday at Poole. I thought today, 1 to 11, the work rate, the attitude was absolutely spot on. The subs as well. I thought that they played out of their skins today for the management team. How pleased were you with that?
Well, they played first and foremost for themselves, you know, and I think that's what we always stress to them. A lot of them are family lads, and they bring their wives and children to the game, and it's really important for them to make sure that they give up a lot of their time to be semi-professional footballers, and it's important to get something back, and also to show your family that you're away from home for a good cause, really, and they haven't been doing that. So I think this time there's sometimes a bit of pressure playing here. We've lost all our games here before today, haven't we? So I think that was something that was really pleasing at half-time, that we played so well, and whatever the game was going to take us to after that, I think that was really satisfying, and that would have been a good thing to talk about afterwards. But we did, perhaps we didn't quite play as fluently in the second half. Ali Shaban, who had a wonderful 70 minutes debut, he hasn't played much football recently, so we knew that we wouldn't be able, especially with another game on Monday, we wouldn't be able to get the full 90 minutes out of him. So we just thought, well, in the end, it's Bobby's trusty right foot from the penalty spot, and it's got us so many wins over the time we've been here, and he stepped up, and when I was doing the cool down, the lads were saying, well, of all the penalties Bobby's taken, that's one that they were feeling the pressure for, you know. So no, it was very satisfying, but I'm really pleased for Douse, because the manager always gets the stick. I wish in a way he'd come out and spoke to you. I tried to persuade him to do so, but I think he's very emotional at the moment, generally because we care. We do care about the club, and we've also found in difficult times that there are a lot of people that care about the club and care about us doing our jobs properly at the club as well. So I'd like to thank everybody for the support that we've had. Obviously, everyone's entitled to have had an opinion because the results have been very poor. I think the word disgrace is a bit strong, Simon. I know I've complimented you many times on your journalistic skills for one who's not paid to be a journalist, but I'd have taken issue with that, because they certainly try. We just haven't played well enough, and we've been searching high and low to try and come up with the answer to that. But sometimes you just need. I mean, Alan put on a game on Tuesday at Walton Casuals, and Mo Harkin played out of his skin and played his way into the team today, and has come from nowhere really to be a candidate for man of the match today. He was absolutely back to the Mo that we signed a few years ago, and the Mo that got us to the playoff final, when he played so well over that period and missed the final, having been brilliant in the semi-final. So there were lots of pluses.
There's one particularly, Mo Harkin, you mentioned there. We had a corner down the end, and then 10 seconds later they were on the counter-attack, and Mo Harkin was down outside our penalty area, slide tackling time. That just typified the attitude of the players today and the work rate. I thought Mo did have a great game today.
I think everybody knew they owed the club something. We certainly felt as the management team that however we tried, the pre-season didn't go as well as we'd hoped. We put our faith in some players who maybe some of the supporters were losing faith in, but most of them played today, and they came through today now. And the great thing about football is when you have a bad result, you've got another game just around the corner. The sad thing about it is when you've had a very good result like today, immediately we're thinking about getting ready for Monday night, and Lewis obviously very well fancied in our league, and a club with a really big budget, and one or two old friends. Max Huswick may well be lining up against us, so it'd be nice to see him. But for an hour or so we're going to enjoy it, and I hope the supporters enjoy it totally over the weekend and come out in numbers, and because of this maybe greater numbers to watch us on Monday night.
You mentioned Ali Shaban made his debut today, but also McRae made his debut in the centre.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with him.
Yes.
What did you make of his performance?
Excellent. Again, just at the last few minutes found it hard because he hasn't played that much. Very kind of Sutton to allow him to come to us. We've been following him, and And he's not only a good player, he's a great lad in the dressing room as well as Ali's been. And I think it was good for them because they weren't tainted with the difficulties we've had over the last couple of weeks. So they could just go out and play. And I spoke to Ramon in the warm-up and said, look, if things go wrong and one or two heads drop, don't let your head drop, because this is not about, what's happened isn't about you. It's what's going to happen today that's about you. And he covered a lot of ground and gave us just a little bit more presence in there where we needed it.
One of the players this week criticised the manager in the press for the shape of the team. We started with two up front today. How much of an impact did two centre forwards have to the result today, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, shape is it's something that I deal with at work. I'll be at the Queen's Park Rangers Villa game tomorrow, and we'll start up by showing a shape of their team, the two teams. But as either a commentator or as part of football management, that shape can change at any point in time. You look at what the opposition are doing to start with. I was not a great non-league forward, but I did play in the Old Isthmian League, and I always wanted to play up front with somebody else, because if you flick the ball on, you need to flick it on somebody else. But sometimes you've got to think we've been leaking a lot of goals, thinking about defending a bit better, and we've tried with three at the back sometimes this season, which people know that Alan's used before. The nice thing, I can't add too much wisdom on this, but I give you what Andre Villas-Boas, I know we've got a lot of Chelsea fans who follow Kingstonian as well. He used to do the match analysis and set up the team, help Mourinho set up the team. I asked him about whether he does all that now or gives it to somebody else, and he said, well, somebody else does it. But the truth is, in a game of football, this is somebody who's made a career by analysing teams. He said, just something can happen in a game that changes. Now, something happened here today. They worked what we call the Bobby Traynor corner, and they missed a chance, the only real chance they had, from virtually under the crossbar at the goal just behind where our expert cameraman is at the moment. And that happened. Now, if that goes in, we go 1-0 down. We've not scored for a long time, and we're on a losing streak. Today he missed, and today somebody in the Hendon defence decided to stick their arm towards the ball, and all the lads say it was a penalty. I don't think there's any dispute from anybody about it, and we get the break. So today, however much you think about the shape of the team, what really counted was the attitude and effort of the players. If you like, the perseverance of Dowson, the belief in himself and in his squad to get them out there to give a performance like that. As good a performance, I'm going back now probably to Tooting on the bank holiday Monday before we played the last game of the season, to think of a game where we played so well over the whole period of the 90 minutes. So that's good, that's in the bank now, and we move on to Lewis.
And how much confidence will this give the players and the management team to go on, get a result on Monday, but also for the rest of the season over the coming weeks?
Well, you look at each game with huge respect, whether you've lost the previous one or whether you've won it. And what it has done is broken a cycle, hasn't it? Because it's been very difficult. We've all lost a lot of sleep. And at my age, it shows even more how old I am. If I don't sleep properly at night, Dowson Hamsey can carry it off a bit better. And you are affected about it because, believe it or not, I know how much you want us to win, and the support has been super, particularly at Poole for the first half an hour. We should have won the game, and he stuck with us again. Good numbers today, but in the end, losing is a habit as much as winning is. And that's how we've got the winning habit and got the losing habit out of our systems. That was in injury time. I have to be totally honest with you. I'm thinking, well, even if we do something stupid, we're not going to lose. And that's the state you get into, I mean, they couldn't score twice in the time that was left. Happily they didn't score at all.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Appreciate it, as ever.
No problem.